Okay, come on.
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm in a hotel room. Bobby, we're If We Ran Nintendo, and you know why this is happening this way? It's happening live, Bobby. It's happening because of everybody at patreon.com/make us better. Like our executive producers all the way up to the platinum executive producer at the tippy top, Corey Hicks, our gold executive producer, Sheldon Benedict, and our gentleman executive producers, Nick from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco Schaefer, David Ray, Joey Hare, Mike Drummy, and Michael Drummy, and Brendan Myers, and our newest patron, Zelfred Guerrero. My many thanks to you, good sir. Bobby, let's go live. Do the whole new intro thing. Get the hair standing on my butt.
Please hang up and try again.
Hello? We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live! Okay.
Break the wall, break down the walls. For those about to rock and watch the world, baby, you know you're Judas and I'm your priest. Baby, what I got.
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 83 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all of podcasting, Sean Capri. What is up, Sean?
What is up, Bobby? It is nice to see you. People who are enjoying the YouTube video will know that I'm turning pink for some reason. I don't know what's going on with my body chemistry right now. I'm a little red, Bobby. I'm a little embarrassed about it, and that's only just accelerating the process
I love
of
it.
me
I love it.
turning into Kirby right now.
I love it.
So hopefully if this does anything, it just drives more traffic towards your amazing YouTube channel to see me turning into Kirby.
I like it.
It makes sense because I suck as much as I blow.
That's you do both very well. I just gotta tell you.
Yep, you would know.
I would know. That
That's
one
weird.
infamous
Weird
time.
right at the start.
That one infamous time in New York. You know, they were.
Oh my god! I flew thousands of miles just to do the Kirby thing.
Yep, exactly. Look at the Mario shirt.
Look at it. It's got some Japanese at the bottom, I think.
You realize that we're only a few days away from Mario Odyssey?
I did realize that. I can't wait, and it's going to be waiting for me. I'm out of town until Thursday night, and then on Friday it should arrive if Amazon does me right, Bobby. I think Amazon Canada might be better with its delivery of Nintendo products than what I'm hearing out of the States, because Mario Rabbids showed up on that day. That was no problem. I don't want to jinx it, but I swear if I'm not playing Mario Odyssey on the 27th, I'm going to be pretty pissed.
I know I will be, because I'm doing an in-store pickup at Best Buy. I'm not even playing games with Amazon.
You're done, hey?
I'm done with Amazon. Like, that is...
Yeah.
I'll buy other things from Amazon, but not that. I'm done.
Good.
So, but,
Can I tell you something else that I bought, Bobby?
that you bought?
Yeah, I purchased something on Amazon, and I don't know. Let me know if you think that I'm crazy. So, when I moved my
Yes, I think
office
you're
and everything,
Yes.
I broke my Link amiibo. I broke the Archer Link amiibo.
Oh,
Did I tell you
yeah.
that? He fell down and it broke. I broke just the tip
Yeah.
of the arrow, and I bought another one.
That's not
$22
crazy.
Canadian.
That's not crazy. That's very... It
Because
bothered
Chelsea said
you?
that we could just like super glue it, and I don't think she's
No.
wrong, but I
Chelsea
would
doesn't
always
get
know.
it. Chelsea doesn't get it. No, you can't super
A
glue
lot of
it.
money. It's a lot of money for just
No,
a
it's
toy.
not. It's not.
That's
It's
now
not.
become a $44 toy because I bought it twice. It's a lot of money.
No, we don't. You did the right thing. You did the right
Okay,
thing.
well I feel better. I've asked you to try and make me feel better, and I appreciate that.
Women don't understand these things.
Listen,
okay?
she understands.
Ever
Do you
since-
know how many?
You need to stop. Okay, relax.
You don't
I'm talking.
attack her, Bobby.
Listen,
You
I'm
don't
not
attack her.
attacking. I'm
You
not
don't attack her.
attacking.
You don't
Relax.
attack her. You
I'm
don't
not
attack her.
attacking.
Keep her
You
name
gonna
out
let me
your mouth.
finish?
Keep her name out your mouth.
You ever see the movie Rocky?
Never. Of course, I've seen Rocky.
Okay, so there's a part where Mickey tells Rocky, "Women weaken legs." It's the truth. They are the downfall of man. I better be quiet. My wife might hear me come down here and beat me up.
Yeah, that's right. Brave words over there on the internet, there, man. It's 2017. Rocky wasn't made in 2017.
I know, 1979. So I'll be getting beat up in 2 minutes.
Right, that's
I'll be
right.
sitting here and I'll be like, I'm sorry, dear.
You're like, well, I could have stood my ground if my knees weren't so weak.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm totally kidding, guys. Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
Gabe Hills, this is the guy you're getting all your advice from. Just remember that.
Just take notes, Gabe. Keep taking notes, all right? So did you? I don't want to say too much. Did you get your package you're waiting for or no?
I did not yet.
Ah, that stinks.
No,
So
that's
it hasn't
okay.
even showed. Well, you said
But I
Chelsea
think-
won't even tell you.
Yeah, but I think it's I think Friday is what I'm hearing other people are expecting it to happen.
That'd be kind of good. So you get
That would be
Odyssey, and that, and you're not even sure what you're gonna play first.
No, it'll definitely be Odyssey. But
Yeah,
dude,
that's dude.
like,
I can't wait.
I've got my expectations pretty low actually. Like I'm just like Toby. I'm on media blackout. I don't know what to expect from this. I know Cappy's a
Yeah.
thing. I know there's a wedding that's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's
Yeah.
all I know, and I cannot wait. I know that there's music with words in it. I think I'm spoiling some things for some people. But Bobby, I'm trying to like acknowledge that this could be the greatest game all year, but also keep my expectations as low as humanly possible. Like that's a very hard. It's like kind of like Star Wars.
My thing is this: I have two feelings. One, I don't know that it can beat Zelda.
I think
two,
it can.
nah,
That's the problem. That's not. See, I'm saying the words.
See, here's my thing. I don't think that it can beat Zelda, but I'm like torn because I want it to be a great game, but I want Zelda to win Game of the Year because I love that game so much. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see how it goes through. I mean, some people are saying like things got spoiled, and I mean, at the end of the day, like we know,
I don't know anything. Don't even try to repeat even something even remotely close to whatever's being
I'm
leaked out.
just saying, Peach is gonna get kidnapped.
Okay.
Mario's gonna try to save her. That's the theme of all games. You know what I mean? Like that's basically where we're at with this. But I don't know. I haven't been looking at things. I've just been kind of
Me
like,
neither.
not that I'm like trying to avoid them. I just don't care to go read a bunch of stuff about it. So there's people that are actually going out and checking it out. But I'm just kind of like looking away. You know what I mean?
Me too.
So, well, I mean, it'll be interesting. I can't wait for it, though. That's the one thing. Like, I'm so glad that I got my Switch when I did. Because I couldn't imagine being one of those people that waited
Yeah.
until now.
I
And
know.
then
Like,
just-
how do you even? You've missed a whole more than half of a year of games,
I know, man. That's crazy.
and you're still paying the same price. It's not like the
Yeah.
thing has come down at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is that you got a sweet bundle that comes out with Mario. That's the only benefit. If you bought on day one, you didn't get one of the sweet bundles like Splatoon or something like that. But that's
Yeah,
it.
but so what? Like, you could...
Exactly.
I'm debating buying the Mario one.
I
Like,
know.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm seriously considering buying the Mario one. Now, I did see Jules posted yesterday or the day before that he bought the actual Joy-Cons from PlayAsia.
Oh, separately? Yeah, that's right.
So part of me is like, well, why don't I just import those?
I have
Like-
zero interest in Joy-Cons, man. Like,
Those-
other than the ones that come with the system, I have zero interest in buying new Joy-Cons.
I don't have interest other than the fact that I would just like a different color on my Switch.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Like,
a
unless
fan
I
of
was
the
selling them,
neons.
I don't
wasn't
want, like, a collection of Joy-Cons. I
No,
just want, like,
no. I don't either. I definitely...
Yeah.
My collection's the controllers.
I know,
That's the
it's
way I'm
sweet.
going.
And you've been on it, and I've been like, oh, maybe I'll get one later. But, like, you can't find those things. You can't
No,
find
they're
Splatoon's
gone, man.
controller. They're done.
They're going. Now check this out. Yesterday, I bought because I have the stands for the Pro controllers for my glass case,
Yep.
right? I found one that is a Splatoon base.
Oh, nice.
So it's got like splats for the base. It's got the two arms that come up, right? And then it's got the splats below, and it says Splatoon on it. Looks phenomenal, man.
That is nice.
So I'm like, I got that one.
If only you were a fan of Splatoon, though.
I know. It's a
Like
shame.
a real
that
fan.
it's
Like, I mean,
shame.
like a real fan.
You know what? Don't be so hurtful.
Like Eric Plunk.
He's not a fan. He's a destroyer of dreams.
Or Jason Lacey. Like, these are true
They're not
fans.
fans. They're not fans. They just like to go in and hurt people's feelings. I
That's
like
true.
to go in and
That's true.
dude, I watched Eric Plunk win a match of Splatoon in 30 seconds. He used
How
the
the
new
heck did he do
footage
that?
because he used the new footage. It was a rank play.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm like, the matches are 3 minutes long.
He made it a 30-second match. He literally grabbed the whatever that big blaster is thing, that weapon, and swam to the other side by himself, no help from his teammates, and just boom, plunked it down and won the match.
Eric plunked it down.
He plunked it down. It was unreal, man.
I love that. Here's what Nintendo's not getting enough credit for. Everybody's like, oh, it only does 30 seconds. But what we learned, or at least my opinion, Bobby, I don't know if you agree with this, but the share functionality for the screenshots on Nintendo Switch is better than any other console out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had a chance to try out the video, but I'm assuming that it's exactly the same process. And if that's the case, Nintendo deserves a lot of credit for it. But
I haven't used it yet. Now, I watched Game Explain do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's a situation where you have to hold it down for it to pick up, I'm not a fan. But if it's something where you push a button and it just records 30 seconds, then I'm fine with that. Like, if you just push a button and it records the last 30 seconds, I'm good with that. But I don't know that that's what it is.
The fact of going to look at that video and then saying, hey, put that to my Twitter, that's easier than it is on PlayStation or Xbox.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know what. These are things people should really be complaining about on the other consoles, in my opinion. But, that's just the way it goes, I guess.
Toby and I were talking about it this week on the Nintendo PlayStation podcast, and it was like, do you foresee them doing longer than 30 seconds?
Definitely.
And I think, but we also got into the talk about, like, streaming. And with it being an issue right now with the streaming and them not wanting people to stream, I have a feeling they're not going to let you stream games like you do on PlayStation or Xbox, which would kind of suck. Because I think the ability to stream on the PS4 and the Xbox One, as easy as it is pretty amazing. I mean, you just push a button and you click, you just click what you want and it goes and starts streaming.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I wish Nintendo was a little bit more friendly with that stuff. I hate the fact that they're a little bit more jump through hoops and stuff to do it. But, it is what it is. What can you do?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs. What a piece of trash. What a piece of trash you are. You just let down all the people in the chat and all the people listening on the podcast because you're in a hotel room and you're scared to just let loose. Coward. Anyway.
Geek outs. It's time for the geek outs. What would you geek out about, Bobby? What are you geeking out about?
I know what I'm geeking out about, but I really can't talk about it. It's something that's coming in the mail probably in a couple weeks.
It's a blue pill. It's a couple blue pills coming for you.
It's pretty
That'll get you just as hard, that's for sure.
It's definitely going to make that. So I
really want to order room service right now. This was going to be the time I was going to do it. I was really, guys in the chat, I've got my menu here. I know what I want to order, but Bobby's going to get so mad at me. Bobby's going to get so angry. I'm going to get a 747 burger. Can I tell you what's on this thing, Bobby?
My thing is that I feel
bacon,
like...
cheddar cheese, orange yolk, fried egg, banana pepper sauce.
I'm about to hang up on you, man.
Onions.
I'm about to hang up on you. Stop it. I feel like we've been fortunate enough, and I feel like we owe a thank you to the people, like the people that are here tonight in the chat, and just the people that follow us and all that stuff. Like, there's some things happening for Sean and I, and we really can't talk about them just yet, but trust me, we're going to talk very soon about it. But it's stuff that, like, without the support of you guys, it doesn't happen. And I am, like, incredibly humbled. Like, I got a message today. I showed Sean the message I got, and I was just, like, floored. Like, I was like, oh, my God, this is not happening. And same thing with Sean. Sean stumbled.
I can talk about mine.
You can talk? Okay, well, do you want to talk?
I have a lot to say. So, Xbox Canada is shipping me an Xbox One X to review, and I get it until mid to end of January, and we're not getting a divorce that night. I'm super pumped about it, man. It's like, here's the cool thing. I think I was saying this to you, Bobby. I may have been talking to Dave more about it, but like I have a pre-order for an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it in the box, and what I get to do now is like I not only will I review it and I'll talk about it on the Xbox Drive and We the Gamer Cast, and I'll write a review and I'll cover it as best as I possibly can because what a freaking honor. But like this is like I will be putting my money where my mouth is. Where if it's good, I will keep my purchase. If it's not good, I will be returning my purchase. Like what an opportunity that I get to even do that, to try it without buying it, sort of in a way. Like it's super cool, and you guys will know that whatever I say or write or cover about it will match it because I don't get to keep that. I have to, if I like it, I have to lay down the money for it.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped, and it not that has necessarily to do much with this show, but the way that people support and like these companies look at the engagement, and you guys play such a huge part in that and making things happen for us. So we say make us better, and we often look at the content that we're able to put out and new shows and new ways of putting it out there, new things to provide. But all it really does is also allows us to reach out to game companies and other different things that it makes things happen for us. So I just I echo your sentiments. So thank you guys for all of the support.
I just checked mine, and I'm allowed. I don't have anything that says I'm not allowed to talk about it. It just says I'm not allowed to show stuff until later. So mine is that you guys have heard me talk about it a couple times, but the Ojo projector, they are actually sending me a prototype to review and to go over and do stuff with, and I am just hyped. Like I can't believe that
is so cool, man.
It's just awesome, dude. You know what I mean? So it's something
you
that
can set it up in your bathroom.
I'm going to put it all over the place.
Yeah, set it up in your bathroom.
What I really thought about doing, I told Tony, I said, what would be really cool is to have like some people, some friends come over, and then, or I go to their house or whatever, and then we play, right? We play with the Ojo projector and the Switch and all that stuff, and then when it's done, I'll get some testimonial video from people.
Yeah, man.
Like, what did you
That's
think
such a
about
good
it?
idea.
Was it cool? Was it bad? You know, and then put it all together, and then put it in with a review. But I'm just, like I said, man, I'm humbled, dude. I'm humbled that this is a thing for us. Like, you know, and it's like, this is crazy to think that, like, we started doing this 2 years ago, you know, ultimately. Like, this podcast is almost 2 years old now, but me and Toby started over 2 years ago doing all this. And you know, it's funny because you have the conversations privately, like, oh man, I hope one day we get this, or it'd be so cool if we could get review copies, or this or that. And then, like, it's starting to happen, and it's like, it's, you know, it's 2 years worth of work, you know what I mean? Like, and it's work, you know, like, this is no joke. Like, I come home every night after working 10 hours, and then I jump on the computer, and then I start doing a video, and I edit it and do that and get it all up, just because, not for me, because I love the people here that are in the chat, and I love the people that follow me and all that, and I want to give them content, and that's the ultimate goal, is to the interaction and how so supportive of me they are. Makes it worthwhile, man. Full force, you know, like, everything that's starting to happen for the channel and for all of us is from the people. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. Like, if they don't stop and go, man, like, hey, thanks for doing this, I'm going to watch more, or I'm going to do more, then none of this happens. And, you know, it's a testament to them. You know what I mean? Like, and I really truly believe this. And I truly mean this when I say it's like, none of this happens without you guys. Like,
that's right.
I am so appreciative. Like, dude, if you would have saw me in the office today, I was freaking out. And the girl in the office, like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'll tell you in a second. I'm like responding to the guy. And then I was like, I told her, and she's just kind of like, eh. And I was like, yeah, you don't understand what this is. Like, you don't know the work that went into all this. And and the thing that's even cooler, and this is why I say this happens because of you guys, is we did not request any of this stuff.
Yeah.
We were reached out to and asked. And it's because you guys, with the retweets and the following and all that stuff, like, that's what made it happen, not us. You know what I mean? Like, they came to us because they see the interaction that we have with you guys, and that means the world, man. So I can't thank you guys enough. So it's a gigantic shout out to all you guys, man. Like, you guys are just phenomenal, seriously, and I love you guys all, seriously. With that, I do want to say this. I got one shout out, and I think you had a shout out too.
Yep.
Jonathan Brown, he's here
Oh,
right
nice.
now. That's what I'm showing, because he left a comment on my video, and was like, "Hey man, you're really kind of I'm paraphrasing or whatever, but he was like, "Hey man, you're kind of killing it with the videos and stuff, and like you are where I'm getting my Nintendo news at now." And dude, that's what I was hoping. That's what I ultimately hoped with the whole series, was that like people would then look to come to the series to get the news. Like, I'm basically doing a roundup. I'm grabbing stuff from Hoshway and from Nintendo Wire and all the great, websites that are out there, grabbing all the information from them, and then I'm reporting on it and stuff. So, without Hoshway and without Nintendo Wire and all them, like, Ninmobile News is Hoshway. Without them guys, man, like, that stuff they make my job so easy, because they just do a great roundup every day, and like, Hoshway's tweeting like crazy, man. He's a madman over there. So thank you, Jonathan, and definitely thank you, Hoshway. Go ahead. What do you got?
You want mine? Okay, mine is really quick. We have a birthday to celebrate, Bobby. Jacob Rush celebrated a birthday, so I wanted to give him a big
oh man, happy birthday!
A big happy birthday to Jacob Rush.
I did see that yesterday. He posted a picture. He's like, "I'm going to play the greatest game on the SNES," and he posted a picture of
Donkey Kong
Country, and I was like, "Yeah, if it's the best at the worst, then yeah, you got it. You nailed it, man."
What do you mean the best of the worst?
It's one of
I mean, it wasn't UN Squadron. It's no UN Squadron, but it's pretty good. Don't mess with the shout out. It's a very special day, very special week. I know that he got a load, man. He got some loot this weekend.
Did he?
And yeah, he got an actual Super Nintendo along with the the classic edition, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So that's sweet that he got to fire that up for the first time. And obviously become very close with Jacob over the last year and a bit, and watching him do his thing with Nintendo nostalgia and just continue to grow that show and love it, man. I wish nothing but happiness and all the best to Jacob. I hope he had a great birthday, and hope that continues on, man. Here's for another great year of Jacobness.
Absolutely. Hello, Tony, my wife. Let's hit the chat real quick.
Oh, shout out to Tony. Shout out to, and every time you guys play Overcooked together, that is just some of the best content on the internet available right now, man.
I think we're gonna hit something up maybe tomorrow night. I'm definitely giving a little heads up tomorrow night. Not that people watching knows, but tomorrow night I'm gonna do the Animal Crossing Direct. I'm gonna do it live like I did the last Direct. But real quick to the chat. Gabe Hills, what is up? Matthew Knight, Aaron Doherty. Afrin Ali, what is up, man? Who else we got here? We got Patrick from Nintendo Talk. We got Cola Break, what is up? Holy crap. I'm just like skimming through as quickly as possible. Hoshway Ponce is here. We mentioned him earlier. Chris Brito, Skyward King. What are you doing? Are you really ordering food? Look at him. You son of a gun. We got a show to do, and you're over here ordering food. It's such trash. Such trash. This is what you guys, Joe After Work, what is up? Sparvy, how are you? James Johnson, Andrew, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm just basically delaying because he's over here ordering room service.
Well, you take it easy. I'm almost done.
Hurry up! What a piece of trash. He's in a hotel.
So much.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye-bye. You piece of trash.
Was that so hard? You're going on and on with the chat and stuff. I got a giant burger coming, and it was real quick. I can't wait for it to arrive during the show.
Okay, so
it's gonna be about a half an hour.
What's the Todd Oxtra segment that you?
It's the timeout for topics. The Todd Oxtra timeout for topics.
Okay, so we're gonna take a timeout from all the BS.
Hashtag timeout for topics.
Hashtag timeout for topics, because Mr. Todd Oxtra gets upset when we don't jump into the topic. So the first topic is, if we ran Nintendo, would we make an ARMS 2?
Ooh.
And if we did, then I want to know like what changes we would make, and if we didn't, what changes should have happened to the first one. So let's start with first, like, would we make an ARMS 2 or not?
Bobby, I'm a very data-driven person. We joke about this show and like it's pretty fun in games, but in my real life, I deal with a lot of. So to answer a question in the chat, where am I? I'm in a hotel. I'm doing draws for a lottery. We give away homes and cash and cars and all of these different things. And so I pulled 1,200 tickets out of a drum today, Bobby. So but I managed this lottery. I managed a lot of other programs that fundraise quite a bit of money, and I deal with a lot of numbers. And what I don't have with ARMS is I don't know how much has it sold. I don't know if this thing moved the needle in any way. I don't know how many people are continuing to play right now.
Copies.
I have no really.
It sold a couple million copies.
I think in that sense, then yes, absolutely. I knew that it made a splash, but I didn't know how big the splash.
Okay,
so I think yes. I think the short answer is yes. We should at least entertain the thought of a sequel.
I think the thing for me is like I would definitely do a second one, only based on a couple of things. One, I think we screwed it up, or Nintendo screwed it up by putting Splatoon out so quickly after ARMS. It killed the thunder on that game.
I don't think so. I think it would have died down just the same, whether or not Splatoon was happening or not. I think people. I'm not sure if I mean that or not, but I feel like the hype was dying for ARMS a week before Splatoon was coming.
Yeah, but I also feel like Zelda DLC and Splatoon totally killed that game. I feel like they had a good momentum going. They had a lot of hype, and then they put out these couple of things, and it kind of slowed it down a little bit. That said, here's the other thing. I think there wasn't enough. I don't think they were ready to launch that game because I don't think that they had enough characters ready to go in the DLC side. It came kind of limited as it was, and then it kind of pushed away. So the one thing that I thought they should do in a sequel is to start introducing Nintendo characters. Mario, Luigi. Listen to me. And then what I would do is have them have like spring gloves to like throw the punches and stuff. I feel like it needs something to pull people in. It's not, the characters just aren't pulling people in. And I think that's a part of an issue.
I totally agree. I think like there's just like who would you say is kind of like the lead, like Spring Boy?
Spring Man or Ribbon Girl.
Like those are so generic. Those are just like by the numbers characters, and they needed something that like I wouldn't buy a Springman amiibo, and maybe that's why they ultimately didn't come out with them. But like I guess it sort of does draw upon the format of Splatoon, where you've got Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl.
Yeah.
Which somehow works, although I don't know. I guess I would argue that those aren't really great characters either.
I mean,
but
maybe
Splatoon's got way more going for it.
Maybe the way to do this is, and I'm being honest, I really feel this, maybe start to implement, well, Patrick just nailed a perfect idea. Create your own character. That would kind of be cool if you could do a creative character. But the other thing I would do is I would start implementing Punch-Out characters into it. Because Punch-Out characters have some good intricacies. I'm serious, man.
I'm worried about this, though, man. I feel like that's the easy way out to just like bring in other characters. I think that ARMS is a strong enough game that these should be iconic characters, and like so much thought and energy was put into the identity of this game. It just wasn't, that energy wasn't put towards the characters. Like I even look at Helix and go like he's the flaily inflatable guy in front of like a used car dealership, and like he's neat to look at, but it's not.
And that's
it's
why
not
I think
Yoshi or Poochie or any of
but
these
that's
other
why
like
I think you
characters
need to
behind you.
implement, either they need to come out with very awesome characters, or they need to hit life support and start implementing some Nintendo characters. And
that is life support.
Yeah. So I think that if you, I really feel this, if you put in all honesty, if you put in a Bald Bull, or, you know, a Macho Man, or a Mr. Sandman, Little Mac, not a bunch, just take 3 or 4 characters, drop them in. I think they could add enough spice to that game to start to liven it up a little bit. But they need something to make it happen. Because originally, people were just like, oh, they should put Little Mac in here. Like, this would be good with it. But I don't want Little Mac with spongy arm. Like, but if he had like springs in his hands, and he threw his arms, and then the springs came off his arms, and then the fists were on top of that. That would be kind of cool. But it would be kind of neat to see what they could do with the game. I don't know that I want Mario and Luigi. Like I said that at first, but I don't think I want those characters in. Keep them out. But I think that they should do something. Like, they just introduced a new character, and it's basically an evil Springman. It's a robotic Springman. And it's like, really?
Yeah,
this is what you're bringing to the game?
The trajectory is really quite awful on this, actually. And I think of, like, I actually look at fighting games in general. Like, when I think of Street Fighter 2, there's all these other characters that came along, and there's great bosses who become playable characters, and that was a bit of a novelty that people got excited about. Like when I was able to play as like Balrog, that was amazing, or M. Bison and things like that. That was awesome. So what bosses do we have available to us in ARMS? Like there's like one.
Yeah.
What?
And
like is that it?
And
now you already
available.
have them in that special mode. And the other part of it too is like there's like Ryu, who I'll say Ryu because that's what we all called him back then. Ryu and Ken were like kind of like the iconics, and I don't have that with ARMS, and I feel like a sequel could allow for that, like this fresh start, and say like, look, we got the mechanics down and everything, and you know that the idea of ARMS works and it's a fun game, but now we can really lean into the characters and lock down what is the identity of this game, and who's the poster child, who's the character that every kid is going to want on their wall. It's not Springman, because I can't even remember his name. I couldn't remember if it was boy or man or whatever. It has to have something as memorable. Like that's what makes Nintendo so special, is these characters are of the status and recognizability of Link and Zelda and Samus, and even like Chibi Robo or Yoshi, everybody behind you, man. It needs that. So I think we take our time. If we were on Nintendo, and I mean like a real story mode, that's not what I play. That I would argue that nobody plays a fighting game for that. And maybe they only like Injustice is really the only game that's figured that out, and that's only because like it's got such a deep connection with comics. Yeah. But like I never played Street Fighter 2 because of the story mode. Like who cares, man? Or Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat or any of these games.
You're just fighting a fight.
You played Mortal Kombat because like you ripped a guy's chest or heart out of his chest, and you know, like all these crazy things. There's nothing really all that crazy about ARMS other than the mechanic of the way that the fight, and that's locked down. There's no argument there. But so I don't know if you're looking for a boiled down answer. Yes, there's something here. Focus on characters. Give me a character that I absolutely love, and I'm going to pick that one character over anybody else, because not because of their abilities, do that as well, but because they are a character that maybe I would cosplay as, maybe like take the whole like hero shooter thing from Overwatch. Part of their character design is how easily can people cosplay as this, how easily can kids draw this character, things like those are things that go into character creation that Nintendo has to bring back at ARMS. This is to me it's so, the character creation is so lazy and so uncharacteristically Nintendo.
I agree. I definitely agree with that, and I think that like if there was different, I love the basketball stage. I like the volleyball stage. I thought they were pretty creative. I thought it was kind of ingenious when they did that stuff. They have the online lobby down perfectly. That's the best.
Copy that.
Yes, man, that is the best there is. I would like to see though, like Patrick just mentioned about how like more breakable interactive stages. There's that one stage where they have the pillars and you could blow them out and stuff.
Should beat up a car for points.
Well, do things like that. Like if the guy is hanging out or he's like hiding behind the cars in what is it, Twinella's her stage or whatever. Like get it where you can hit the cars and knock them out of the way and go after the person and stuff. Like none of this hiding behind cars stuff. Like go get them, man. You know what I mean? Like so I think that I like the idea of like more. The more I think about it, the more I think like I would hate to see this game just die.
It won't die, Bobby. There's a savior. There's a saving grace that everybody in Nintendo land is looking forward to, and I will tell you what this is, Bobby.
What's it? What is
it's the same thing that has saved and launched Fire Emblem into the stratosphere. it's Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
There's a way for people to come to love the ARMS characters, even if there's a new one that they introduce through Smash. So it's going the opposite way that you actually had said at the start. Is not bringing other characters into ARMS to make it look like Smash. It's actually to take the ARMS characters into Smash and make people love them there.
That's possible.
And then you grow an affinity and a connection to the characters in that way.
That's
you go back to
possible.
ARMS. Yeah, man, absolutely. That's what I stand by. I think that is the absolute correct answer, and there's no other answer that I will accept to this, Bobby. Because I'm giving it so much thought.
So the next
That
step.
gives me so much hype, man. This is the classic if we were a Nintendo moment of
Yeah.
this has to happen. And actually,
It
that
could
actually
happen.
could happen. That actually could happen.
Yeah. Now my question to you is this: now, when would we launch this game? When would this game come back? Like when?
I think we need. I think
3
Yeah, I
year.
think 2 years. I think 2 years is good actually. That allows us. That's assuming that Smash could come like basically a year after ARMS, which I actually think would be a really, really decent time. What was that? May? No,
Yeah.
Mario Kart must have been May.
No. The thing came out in March. April
Right,
was
because it was the second game. That's right.
April was Mario Kart, and then
That's
then
right. I was thinking Mario Kart. May was Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. Was
Yeah.
May. So yeah. I think about spring 2018 for Smash, and then spring 2019 for ARMS 2.
I like it. I do. I like the idea. I like the concept. I think it's a good. It's nailed in my idea. You know, in my mind, it's like it's sold because, like I said, I think it's sold enough to warrant a sequel. You know, like whether it was a fluke or not, that's not the point. If Knack can get a sequel based off the sales because there was nothing to play.
Dude, every game is gonna take that
Yeah.
mentality. It's like if Knack can get it, then now we got a whole bunch of games that don't deserve.
Let's be
sequels
honest.
that
Like
don't want it.
Knack ultimately gets a sequel because there's the thing. Knack ultimately gets a sequel because of how many units it sold. Well, it sold a lot of units because there was nothing to play when it came out. It was in wide open space, similar
That's a
to
great
ARMS.
comparison. Yeah.
So you look at it and you go, okay, let's see if this thing really has the ability to take off. Let's see if this was a fluke based upon nothing being there, or if we can really make this game grow and blow up and stuff. And I think if, like you said, if they threw Springman or Ribbon Girl in Smash, there's a strong possibility that you could wind up seeing this game actually take off and do something in the future. That's what I feel.
Matt Knight says Smash will come out holiday 2018. And I wonder, man, I feel like Nintendo has actually taken what we're seeing with the rest of the video game industry, which is there is really no holiday versus winter versus spring versus fall. Like it almost doesn't matter anymore. The fact that we've got 6 or 7 million Switches in the wild because they launched a console in the middle of nowhere, and now they're leading up to.
Well, that's
holiday.
the thing. Like we all, like you. Okay, so when it first got talked about, like a fall, like a spring release of the Switch, dude, all of our friends were anti. Like they were like, "There's no way Nintendo has to do it in the fall."
Yep.
Right or wrong, you and I were the ones that were like, "No." I kept saying like, "I think it's a smart
Thank you
idea."
for remembering that, because I
Yes.
was just going to go off on a whole tangent. So yes, thank you.
I
Yeah, keep
remember you and I, like, my feeling was, hey, taxes hit this time of year. People have like expendable
That's right.
cash
You
to go
totally
just go
said that.
burn on stuff. And you were the one that was saying, like, we don't need to hear anything till it's closer to launch. And everybody was flipping out, giving us a hard time about what we were saying. Alan Paxton, Joey Ferris, like, all the Mark Carabin, all these guys on their podcast were pounding that drum like, we need to know now, we need to know. And you and I were like, no. You were the first. I followed suit, but you were like, no. We need to get close. It needs to be like an Apple thing where it's announced and then boom, it goes. So
Yeah, it totally
I
works.
think that showing of what they could do totally shows that here we are in a situation where you don't have to release at these different times. Nintendo has proven that you could release at any time and it could become a success. It depends on how you market it. That's
Even
all it
Mario
boils
on
down to.
October 27th. That's not
That's
a
not a
holiday,
typical.
really.
That's not a typical Mario launch.
That's not totally.
It's normally
yeah.
November, and then that's what it goes. Like
Yeah,
it
week
goes
before
November.
Black Friday.
week before Black Friday, it's like the 18th, 17th, like whatever it is. It's always
Blackish Friday.
It's the Friday
Blackish
before Black
Thursday.
Friday. They always want. I mean, dude, Pokemon is coming out that day. The two Pokemon games, Ultra Sun and Moon, they're coming out that day. Like that's typically what they do.
Is it too late? Can we buy Nintendo stock right now? Like, are you kidding me right
We
now?
could, but
Like,
it's probably
why
gonna be
haven't
expensive as
we
hell.
jumped on this right now?
We need to do it. Let's
What the heck?
Let's start a GoFundMe and we'll get the money together. We'll go buy stock.
We'll start a new Patreon. Make us buy Nintendo stock. Patreon.com/make us buy Nintendo stock. Please.
Imagine that.
Holy crap, man! Like, what a year! Like,
Somebody-
they're just.
Oh my
and now it's
God.
such a no-brainer.
Dude.
And I love this because all of us crazy Nintendo people spent the last 6 months gobbling up every single Switch that they could possibly make, and you got a nice you got a donation.
Yeah, I
Holy
was just gonna say,
crap.
Sheldon Benedict, man, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that.
Oh man, Sheldon Benedict is the dude.
He is the dude.
He is the dude, and he doesn't have to wear a robe to do it. I love this, man. This is exactly the way that we drew it up if we ran Nintendo. Of every Nintendo fan is embracing the Switch and evangelizing it and telling all their friends why it's so great. And now here we are at the holiday season. It's the #1 console, and it's dominating the charts. And now ready for holiday when everybody's got their wallets
Holy
open and ready
cow.
to buy something.
So Joe after work just said it's $387.37 per share USD.
That's a lot of money.
That's a
Bobby.
lot of money,
That's a
man.
lot, and I mean, you got to buy like thousands of shares in
Yeah,
order
you
to
can't
like,
just buy
really do
one.
anything.
You can't just go buy one.
What was it before the Switch? I wonder what
Oh,
it was
I
like.
can't imagine.
Like they've had quite the year, Bob. And Pokemon and Mario are about to come out,
Yeah.
and they're
It's
about
gonna
to go into the holiday season.
Yeah.
So they are rewriting the book on almost every aspect of video gaming, like even from the fact that this is a console you bring on the go, everything. When you
Yeah.
release things, this is amazing. It's very cool to see. I'm so glad that we run this company, Bobby. We don't even need to buy shares. We just run it.
We just run it. We just run it into the ground. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I like getting messages from Joey Hare, by the way, saying he's so glad that we actually don't run this company. That's always really encouraging. Thanks, Joey.
I don't pay any attention to it.
That's all right.
Totally.
We know that we couldn't run a lemonade stand, as you say.
I say it all the time. We're not good enough to run a lemonade stand, let alone we're
Actually, I
not
think-
qualified enough to run a lemonade stand. let
That's
alone-
right. What did we say? Sorry, I want to address this. My chat's I gotta catch up here. Holy crap, everybody! Matt Knight says a share used to come with a copy of Dragon Warrior. That's hilarious because now it comes with one of the leftover amiibo from the Animal Crossing lines.
Yeah,
If you
it's
buy a
true.
share, they just give it to you. They just give you a box full of KK sliders.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's jump into this now because we got about 15 minutes left. We'll jump into this.
211 before that. Sorry, go
So this comes a lot from my conversation with Nick Militia on Nintendo Talk Live this past week.
What's up,
he had a
Nick?
really good idea, but I wanted to take it a little bit further. So if we ran Nintendo, what would we set pricing for our take of the pie, and would we implement physical publishing for indie developers? So this all came off of this was I'm telling you, this was completely Nick's idea. He was like, hey, why doesn't Nintendo just do what Limited Run does or what Nicholas does? Why don't we offer these indie developers something? But when in the conversation that comes out is, so if a developer sells a game in the eShop, Nintendo takes 40% of the take. And that's pretty
40%?
40%, yeah.
That's more. It's usually 30% on the other platforms.
I think they're more
Almost
like in line
positive.
with Apple. I think Apple takes 40% as well.
Oh, okay.
So my idea is, if this happens, because my idea first was like, well, I think 40% is way too expensive. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's a lot, man.
If we ran Nintendo, what I would do is this. I would say, we're going to drop it down to 30%, right? However, if you do,
That's what I thought, Rybo.
is it 30% for
30%.
Maybe Nintendo is 30%. We'd have to ask Jules to be sure. But let's say, I could have sworn that Jules told us 40%. Maybe you didn't.
don't remember.
Maybe I'm wrong. But whatever their cut is. So what I would say is this: if it is 40%, I'd kick it down to 30.
Yeah.
I'd actually kick it to 20. I would say 20%, And then if you want us to publish your physical games, then we're at 40% because you're taking a risk with doing this. But regardless, where do you lie with all this?
I feel like Nintendo is in a position to actually strong arm a little bit and go back to the good old days of, you want to be on our platform, then you do it our way, and the our way means money for Nintendo. Like, it doesn't sound like a very, like, I like your perspective because you're actually taking the developer into consideration, but like, there are so many games that are coming up for Switch right now. Like, you only cut price, you only make things like more attractive is when you want to up the volume, but there's no need to up volume right now. So because the volume's in there, so you might as well keep the margins as high as humanly possible.
Yeah.
But if there's a drought, then I feel like that's the thing that prompts you to lower the cost to invite more to come in.
True.
But games are selling on the Switch. Like, that's the incentive, is that when you put it on the Switch, the games will sell instead of how much is it going to cost me to get on there. That's actually secondary.
Yeah.
Because of how, and that goes back to the NES days of, if you want to be on the system, well, guess what? You're going to have to buy carts, and we dictate the price, and we dictate the minimum amount that you're going to get. And I think it's so funny that in many ways Nintendo's bravado is reflecting, when they save the video game industry, and it didn't need saving per se. It's not nearly as dire as it was back then. But a lot of their strategies are leaning back to what made them so successful and so profitable back in the day. And it's funny because we often talk about how old-fashioned they are and why don't they just get with the times? It's because back in the day, before, like, when Microsoft wasn't even thinking about gaming, and before Sony even knew what to do with a CD drive, Nintendo was making money hand over fist. So you got to know that they're looking at those old playbooks and going, history will repeat itself, and this is how you print money.
Yeah.
So just do that, man.
But my thing is this, though. What do you think about, because I always feel like Nintendo leaves money on the table. And you allow a company like Limited Run, because I don't like how Limited Run does their physical copies. I like how Nicholas does them, meaning you put them up for pre-order and then you put them in stores. Limited Run does a website thing, and you got to pray that you can get in there quick enough to buy games. Yeah. Because they sell out within a day or so.
They're limited.
Super limited, though. Come on. Like 2,000 copies? That's insane.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Did you ever send Jules my copy?
So, listen, we're just... I keep forgetting. It's laying on the counter. I'm like, I got to send this thing.
You could just fake a signature, and I would never know.
I'd just be like,
go
be a gigantic John Hancock J, and then
do it in a wax crayon.
OOLS. Be like, yeah. And I'll, like,
you hear that airplane? I'm right by an airport.
I didn't hear
you hear that? Oh, okay. It went like an airplane.
Lovely. Anyway, it's like Toby with the train. But do you think that we should, like, if we ran Nintendo, would you offer the ability to develop or to publish games?
Yes, absolutely. Buy my carts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do the exact same thing. Yes, 100%. If I ran Nintendo, man, I would open that up to Super Nintendo and I'd go all the way back.
Yeah.
I would have, like, those are patents and copyrights on all of this technology. Yes, if you want to make a Super Nintendo game, do it. But to your point, yes. And actually, I guess to even your point, what you're trying to say, I think is whoever the game maker is can take the risk on their own of buy as many carts as you want. The minimum number is however many thousand, and that's up to you to sell.
But here's the thing: with indie developers, they don't have the ability to do all this work. So what I'm saying is we offer a service where we will make the games, print them, do all the work for you. We'll publish them, we'll promote it, we'll do all that, but it's going to cost you X% of the copies. So that's where I'm saying, like, if we typically charge 40% or 30%, we double it. Like, not double it, but we go up another 10, 20% and say, if you sell physical copies, we'll put them out, we'll ship them to the stores and all that, but it's going to be this much. And we do limited runs. We don't do crazy runs. There's got to be some
criteria around that of like which games do you want to even be part of, though.
Well, the thing
because on that side is that Nintendo takes on a lot of the risk. Aside, like the way that they did it before was that there was no risk to Nintendo.
Well, there's no risk if they do it right. If they one is if they did it through their website, right? But the other way would be like take pre-orders and then make
it's
however
on
many
demand.
copies, so you know you sold them all. So if 100 copies get done, well, guess what? You make 100 copies and you ship them off, and that's it. And you're done. You leave it open for X
So the
amount of
only
time.
way to buy it is in pre-order.
That's
basically?
it. That would be it. Because you know you're taking a huge risk. You got to make sure that we're not losing money. You don't get into this venture by losing money. So I feel like if it's
there
a
you go.
pre-order
Yep.
thing, then you're selling 100%. You don't do any additional copies, and that's it. You know, because I'll be honest with you, look at all the money they could have made off of Shovel Knight. You know what I mean? It's
It's a good idea. I like it, actually. Yep. That's a very well fleshed out idea, Bobby. Let's
I mean,
do it.
that's Nick. I mean, a lot of that came from the conversation with Nick, but I felt like it was such a good idea. I wanted to put it in this realm.
I mean, and looking at the percentage, like, I don't know if they need to up it or not. Like, I don't fully understand like what the cash flow is when you look at digital versus physical, and even if they're the ones producing the physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you have to
Yeah.
think, there has to be a percentage of people that will not ever buy digital. There's a percentage out there, and you want to not let games get trapped on a console that'll never get played. You know what I mean? Like a Mutant
and there's a
Months.
percentage of people who will buy both.
Like, you think about it. Oh, yeah, exactly. But think about it. SteamWorld Dig 2 comes out, right? It's a great game. You have to go get your food?
Was there a knock? I couldn't hear.
I couldn't tell. I saw you look up. I thought you...
No, I was looking at the door, wondering, I'm like, I couldn't hear that. So I'm trying to look at like underneath for like the little crack with the window,
Oh,
the
good
light.
God. They'll be calling you in 2 seconds. But I look
It's a
at a game
loud
like I look at a game like SteamWorld Dig 2, right? That will essentially just get trapped on the Switch unless it goes physical. Like, there's a lot of people that'll never play that game because they don't buy digital games. And that's, you know, it's kind of sad to think that, like, as successful as that game is, how much more successful could it have been if they would have done a physical release?
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of crazy when you think of it like that.
And physical directly sold from Nintendo rather than through retail. Like,
Yes.
that's the only other piece is that I'm wondering, and that's sort of what was breaking my brain before of like, at that point, like, is it even in Nintendo's best interest, because then they got to slice off a portion to retailers. But if the physical is still like an online only model of like you have to order online and it gets directly shipped,
The way I
then
would
yes,
do it is
this seems like a
two
no-brainer.
ways. 2 ways I would do it. 1, strictly on your website, right off the website. 2, you have a store in New York. Drop them there. You have a store in Washington. You drop them there. You're about to have stores in all your theme parks. Drop them there. And that's what I would do. You know what I mean? You know they're going to be selling Nintendo games in Universal Orlando. You know they're going to sell Nintendo games in there. It's going to be Nintendo Orlando. It's going to be Nintendo California or whatever it is, wherever that winds up being, like Los Angeles or whatever. Like, you're going to have... That's the whole reason why it went from Nintendo World Store to Nintendo New York.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of interesting to see, like...
Well,
that's
then you
what-
can see like just like an exclusivity deal being drawn up too. Like, as soon as you do all that, and it's like all of our stuff plus Walmart
Yeah.
or plus GameStop or whatever it is.
You could do some exclusive deals, and you know they could. If you did a thing... I mean, let's just go back and rewind history. Like,
Dude, I want to take this idea of Nick's and I want to do one more step.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to do Amiibo as well.
That's the thing that blows my mind, because they don't do Amiibo.
I
Well,
know.
they do Amiibo, but what they do is they go, hey guys, you make the Amiibo yourself, and then you distribute them. We give you the licensing for the technology. Makes no sense to me. Why would you not go, we'll set you up with the manufacturers and all this stuff, and do it all, push it through, and be done with it?
You know what, the way I was thinking about how, like, okay, I don't want to open that up to everybody, but then how do I pick? And because it's, like, Amiibos are special.
Yeah.
Amiibo are very like, and which characters are selected, and we saw what happens when they're not special with the Animal Crossing. Like, that was just such a clear cash grab. It wasn't, it didn't tie into any game. It was just like, well, if you guys are buying everything anyways, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So we got to steer clear of that if this is going to be a real deal. I feel like you pick one game a year, one indie game a year that you open this up to, like like Shovel Knight is a great example of like
Yeah.
that was the only indie game that was stretched out to it was offered an amiibo.
They weren't offered it. They weren't offered it. They went to Nintendo.
Right.
And Nintendo said, okay, you can do it, but that you have to go get your own. So what they did was they
do the same thing.
they went to the
it's almost like an
manufacturers of
RFP.
Disney Infinity, and they got them to make all the amiibo for
That's
them.
crazy.
It is
That's
crazy.
hilarious.
It is.
So do that, and you know what? This is actually sort of like a Microsoft thing of allowing gamers to customize their controllers.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft figured out something in the production that allows for that customizability and for it to still be profitable. Nintendo needs to do the same thing, but with Amiibo, and basically allow indie developers to pitch their idea. And everything from the design to the way that it functions within the game, or maybe ideas for how it functions in other games. And Nintendo can pick based on the creativity of that proposal, as well as looking at how well is that game selling, or do people identify with that series with Nintendo, which further encourages indie developers to look to Nintendo first, because it could mean all these other things. So there's a pathway that is so clear for indie developers to not only because games are selling, but if your game then takes off, then there's other things that you could graduate to.
Yeah.
And Amiibo being one of them. Man, people would dream of having their game sell like crazy at an indie level. And then imagine the SteamWorld Dig Amiibo that you could get. Like imagine the 2017 indie Amiibo choice or whatever. There's like a cool kind of like label that you could, or a line that you could give to this thing. So in addition to carts or physical copies that you could get for, and that you'd open that up to many indie games.
Yeah.
You have like the prestige of this one game gets championed to SteamWorld Dig.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I think that would that'd be so spectacular.
Yeah. I
I want
agree.
that I want to happen. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I had it happen again, Bobby.
Yeah, it happened again.
Just talking out of my ass.
So that is all. Thank you guys
Aw.
for listening to us on iTunes, Dayspace, Google Play, all that good stuff. Got to tell you, if you're having issues finding anything that we're doing, get off of iTunes. Go do yourself a favor. Get one of these other programs. I just did it today. I paid $3.
Overcast on iOS, Podcast Addict on Google. One of those two guys.
Yeah, I got rid of what because it's just horrible. But other than that, thank you guys for watching it, all that good stuff. Everybody that came and watched it live, we appreciate it. It means the world to us. Thank you. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. Follow Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. Follow the podcast at If We Ran Nintendo. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Peace out, Preston. Peace out, Joseph Moran. Thank you for having me on the PlayStation Podcast this week, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Happy Mario week.
Yeah, something like that. You done rambling? Can I turn this off
Yeah,
now?
because I got to pee.